Microsoft and Open Source and Oxymoron? By Gudrun Funk, www.trcb.me/Gudrun. Since Microsoft can safely say its very existence lies in closed source, that is to say not showing how their stuff works, just selling and supporting it, it would be a natural assumption that Microsoft is the mortal enemy of open source. Microsoft has gone to some lengths to support the open source movement. As this is at a first glance completely illogical on the surface, it begs the question, why? It could be that Microsoft is feeling the smack from the European Union. Now, I'm not saying a $1.3 billion fine is going to bankrupt Microsoft. Fact is, these $1.3 billion doesn't get split up among the shareholders. Not likely to make them very happy. So did Microsoft get the message from the EU saying something in that direction? If you're going to be a dictator, be a benevolent dictator, or else. Some may suggest that Microsoft is just realizing they can't have all the candy in the candy store. The company CEO has suggested that Microsoft will be more grown-up in his behavior. We can certainly point to their great support to Novell. Novell used to be a company that dominated the LAN environment. Microsoft rather brilliantly dismantled Novell in market share and mind share. In addition, of course, ultimately of the money share. Today Novell is still around. Not because of NetWare, because it bought a Linux distribution SUSE, added its very talented engineering staff, and makes money on supporting an open source alternative. Lost in the history books is how these two firms, almost overnight, went from being ready to have a mother of all court battles, to settlement and smiles all around. I will never be able to prove, so I can only guess and suspect something came up in the discovery phase, before a civil trial. That something is loosely being known as a smoking gun. Your article could be in this broadcast. Visit trcb.com to find out how. What I do know is that Novell got paid to redeem coupons for Microsoft customers who wished to port their Microsoft operating systems and file formats to open source products. Therefore, with this time having gone by with Novell, Microsoft has something to measure. Trust me, they like to measure everything. They see that being somewhat civil with the open source people is not hurting their case any. They actually become platinum-level sponsors for Apache, the world's leading computer web server. Back to Novell, with unspecified encouragement to roll out Moonlight. Moonlight is the code to support Silverlight calls on Linux. Oh, you never heard of Silverlight? This is Microsoft's way of taking on Adobe with its suite of internet-rich clients such as Flash. In my opinion, version 1 of Silverlight was nothing to write about. We'll see how version 2 does. Microsoft does even now have Microsoft Open Source Technology Center. Microsoft employees, some of the best people to tweak Penguin's Linux engineers, along with their side of Novell Microsoft Lab for continuous testing. Maybe Microsoft understands the old saying, better the devil you know, than the devil you don't. Visit trcb.com for more great articles like this now.